The global coronavirus pandemic has had a massive impact on our daily lives in an incredibly short time. One of the most significant changes for many of us is that we are now, suddenly and with almost zero preparation, being expected to work from home. And all of this is on top of all the other craziness that's going on in the world. It's a difficult time for all of us, but with some thought and planning, it's possible to remain productive, focused, and effective when working from home. These are our top tips for employees, managers, and students. 1. 16 tips for working from home. One of the more challenging things about working from home is that you're at home. You're surrounded by your stuff, by your family, and by distractions aplenty. But with effort, organization, and cooperative negotiation, you'll be able to focus and get stuff done. In a nutshell, our top 16 tips for working from home during the pandemic are: 1. Set up a dedicated office. 2. Maintain your morning routine. 3. Take scheduled breaks. 4. Step away when you can. 5. Accept that things are different. 6. Establish clear expectations. 7. Kill your social media streams. 8. Hold yourself accountable. 9. Find tools for remote collaboration. 10. Embrace video calls. 11. Embrace real-time chat. 12. Keep career advancement in mind. 13. Establish clear boundaries with your family. 14. Negotiate a shared schedule for watching kids. 15. Make extra time to do things as a family. 16. Take care of yourself. So, let's dig into some details. 1. Set up a dedicated office. If at all possible, find a desk or table that is out of the way from regular life activities, and set it up as a dedicated workstation. The most obvious places are in a den, spare bedroom, or basement. If you don't have the luxury of this much space, then pick the less busy end of your dining or kitchen table, or even set up a small standing desk on a bookshelf. If you can't dedicate space for your home office, that's okay. You can set up and tear down your workstation each day as needed. The key here is to have a space where, when you're in it, your brain is able to switch into work mode, helping you focus on your job and set everything else aside until you're finished for the day. 2. Maintain your morning routine. You may also find that it's incredibly valuable to maintain a regular morning routine when switching from working in an office to working from home. It's tempting to sleep in for that extra hour and to start work while still in your pajamas, but you should resist. Getting up, showered, and dressed will help you get into the right frame of mind for sitting down and focusing on the task at hand. 3. Take scheduled breaks. The flip side of this is that when you're working from home, it's incredibly easy to stay fully in work mode and neglect taking breaks to help clear your head and relieve your aching back. Avoid falling into this trap by setting reminders at scheduled times to prompt you to take a break, stretch your legs, and grab a hot cup of tea or coffee. And be sure to eat a decent lunch every day. Having time to pause and reset will help you stay more focused and productive for a longer period of time than if you just blindly power through a full 8 to 9 hour day with no breaks at all. 4. Step away when you can. When you're finished working for the day, try to step completely away from work and switch back into normal life mode. It's easy to keep your laptop or mobile open and just check in every so often, but your brain needs rest whenever possible. Some evening relaxation will help you sleep and wake up refreshed to tackle a new day ahead. 5. Accept that things are different. First off, don't beat yourself up if your first few days or weeks of working from home aren't as productive as you're used to. That's to be expected, and it will get better with time. Also, these are difficult times for your company as well. The economy is taking a hit, and so things are uncertain. Your manager and team are probably going to be extra stressed and a little off their game. Be flexible and as understanding as possible, and keep an eye out for coworkers who may be struggling to adapt. 7. Establish clear expectations. Since you're no longer going to be working together in the same office, it's important to establish clarity around following things. 1. Office hours. 2. Expectations in terms of productivity and due dates. 3. How you're going to communicate. 4. Expected response times. Just make sure everyone knows what can be expected in terms of general availability. This will help alleviate frustrations all around. 7. Kill your social media streams. It's tempting to keep your phone or browser window open to Facebook, Twitter, or Reddit all the time, but we all know that is the fastest way to kill your productivity. Shut them down except for maybe a quick peek at lunchtime. Reducing distractions is really one of the greatest challenges you'll face while working from home. 8. Hold yourself accountable. Every morning take the time to review what you did yesterday and what you want to get done today. Make this as concrete as possible with a daily to-do list, and then spend a few minutes figuring out the best way to go about getting them all done. Be explicit about setting longer-term goals, as well, breaking those down into a concrete list of tasks that you can then work into your daily schedule. Starting your day by reviewing and refreshing your daily to-do list is a simple and effective way to keep yourself focused and on track. And it really is incredibly satisfying to cross things off that list as you get them done. It's a small victory, but one worth celebrating every single time. 9. Find tools for remote collaboration. When you're not co-located in an office, your team can't just grab a meeting room and hash out some ideas together on a whiteboard. You're going to have to find some online tools that will help you do this, such as 1. Video calls. 2. Real-time text chat. 3. Email. 4. A shared task manager. 5. A collaborative writing or whiteboarding system. 10. Embrace video calls. While it is possible to have meetings via text or on the phone, nothing really matches using a video conferencing system. Sure, you may end up seeing someone's messy kitchen or their kids may make a guest appearance, but being able to see and hear people in real time is incredibly important and will save so much time, frustration, and potential misunderstanding. Some good video calling options include 1. Zoom. 2. Google Hangouts. 3. Skype. 4. Slack video calls. Chances are at least 1 or 2 people in your team or company have used a few of these, so discuss it with the group and do a couple of trial runs. 11. Embrace real-time chat. Similarly, having a real-time chat system gives everyone a quick and easy way to share links and documents, ask questions, and just chit-chat through the day. It's not the same as being at an office, of course, but it helps to keep communication lines open. It can also help with overall morale. Working from home can be lonely and isolated, so being able to shoot the breeze with your coworkers can go a long way to bridging that gap. 12. Keep career advancement in mind. Working in these times is going to be challenging, but you may have a chance to step up and go above and beyond the call of duty. If your company has experienced layoffs, for example, there will probably be extra work you could take on, or coworkers who could use some extra help. Your manager and coworkers are sure to appreciate any extra effort you put in. Or, you could use this time to learn new skills, to improve upon processes and tasks you're already doing, or to suggest ideas for new projects to increase revenue. 13. Establish boundaries and expectations. Make sure the other people in your household understand when you'll be working, and that you will need to be basically left alone as much as possible during that time. Headphones can help a lot with this. 14. Negotiate a shared schedule for watching kids. If you and your spouse are both working from home and you have kids who need supervision or structured activities, take some time to work out a shared schedule. One of you can work in the morning while the other watches the kids, and vice versa for the afternoon. If one or both of you need to make up extra hours, do that in the evening when the kids are in bed or watching Frozen 2 for the 400th time. 15. Make extra time to do things as a family. And with things being as chaotic as they are, there's a good chance that your family are all experiencing a lot more worries and anxiety than usual. Be sure to take time to be with each other and to do things together as a family, whether it's going for a walk or indulging in a binge-watching marathon. Try to be present for each other as much as you can. 16. Take care of yourself. We're all going through a heightened level of mental trauma these days, so it's important to take care of yourself as best you can. Now more than ever, it's important that you do following things. 1. Get some exercise. 2. Eat properly. 3. Do what you can to manage your anxiety. Be sure to take some time to take care of yourself, because your physical and mental health are as important now as ever. 6 extra tips for leading a remote team. Of course, everything we've already discussed applies for managers as well, but we have a few added tips for people who find themselves suddenly managing a remote team. Here are 6 additional tips for managing a remote team. 1. Have weekly planning and review meetings. 2. Give updates even when there are no updates. 3. Take care of your team. 4. Schedule regular one-on-one meetings. 5. Take care of yourself. 6. Treat this as a learning opportunity. So, what do we mean by all this? 1. Have weekly action planning and review meetings. Get your team together on video chat at least once a week for action review and planning meetings. Your team will find the best way to manage the ensuing discussion, but make sure everyone gets a chance to share their status update before the end of the meeting. 2. Give updates even when there are no updates. In a world where little feels certain, it's better to over-communicate than leave people in the dark. Set a specific time during the week when you give updates about what's going on with the company and the team, being as honest as you can be about how things are going. 3. Take care of your team. Your team are all real people with lives outside of work, and you may not know everything that's going on with them, their families, and their friends. Assume that there is more going on than you know about, and be as understanding as possible. 4. Schedule regular one-on-one meetings. If you haven't yet established a culture of having regular one-on-one meetings, it may be time to get started. Committing to regular one-on-one meetings can be a challenge depending on the scope of your responsibilities and the size of your team. 5. Take care of yourself. While it's important that you do whatever you can to take care of your team and help them weather this storm, you must also take care of yourself. Being in a leadership position right now is incredibly challenging. You're concerned about your team, of course, but you have your own stuff going on as well. Chances are you're getting pressure from higher ups, or you're struggling to figure out how to keep your business afloat. And you probably have your own family issues that need to be handled on top of the daily pressures of being a boss. So be sure to take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting some downtime, enough exercise, eating well, and getting enough sleep. 6. Treat this as a learning opportunity. Someday all of this is going to settle down and life will eventually get back to normal. Right now as a manager you're in a tough spot, but you also have an incredible opportunity to learn how to manage remote teams, and how to manage those teams through a crisis. 7 tips for online learning. With the sudden move to remote work, one group is often being overlooked. Students. Like everyone else, students are similarly working from home, no longer able to go to campus or attend classes. Many schools are offering online learning as an interim solution, but that too holds its own challenges. Here are our top 7 tips for making the most of your online learning experience. 1. Establish a dedicated studying area. 2. Study at the right time. 3. Create your own class schedule. 4. Engage in active studying. 5. Stay focused. 6. Communicate with your class and teachers. 7. Take advantage of virtual office hours. So, let's dig into some details. 1. Establish a dedicated studying area. Create a dedicated area for participating in online lectures or doing schoolwork. It can be challenging, but it will help you get into a focused mindset. 2. Study at the right time. Some of us are night owls, some are morning people, and most of us fall somewhere in between. If you know when you work best, arrange to do most of your schoolwork, reading, and writing at that time. Shut off your social media, put away your phone, and tell your family or roommates that you're going to be working for a particular chunk of time to avoid distractions. 2. Create your own class schedule. Once you've established a time when you can really focus on your work, schedule your various classes into that time. It's easy to get involved in a particular subject that you love and end up neglecting another class, or another project you're dreading. Set a schedule so you can focus on one thing at a time, and be sure to follow it. Set a timer if you need to, it will be worth it in the end. 3. Engage in active studying. A lot of studying can feel pretty passive, you're watching a lecture, or reading through yet another endless chapter in a dusty old textbook. But it's in these times when you're going to absorb the least and essentially waste a lot of time. Do what you can to make your studying more active. Taking written notes while you're watching a lecture or reading a text is a great way to do this. 5. Stay focused. We've already talked about shutting down your social media while studying, but you should try to shut down as many other distractions as you can as well. If you're watching a lecture, don't also browse the web or watch a video in another window. Anything that draws your attention away from the work you're trying to do is going to make your study time less effective. 6. Communicate with your class and teachers. We're all pretty comfortable with chatting online these days, so be sure to take part in any online discussions your classmates may arrange to talk about the latest lectures or readings. And if no one else has arranged a discussion, step up and do it yourself. Not only will it give you some space to talk about what you're studying, it will help lessen the feelings of loneliness and isolation you may be feeling being stuck at home. 7. Take advantage of virtual office hours. If your professor or tutors hold online office hours, take advantage of them. Come prepared with questions you want to ask or things you would like to talk about to make the best use of the time. Things are chaotic and difficult right now, but we'll all get through this. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.